afternoon, everyone. Happy Friday. Guess who's back? It's Greg.
Me.
He's alive.
He's alive.
Oh,
so we missed you, Greg.
Terrible. I missed you so terribly. Yeah, this is good. I'm glad to be out.
If you don't know me, I'm Rafia, and that's Greg, my co-host. And today we have Luis Vega with us, and we're going to learn all about what he does for a living. In the meantime, if you guys want to ask us questions, you can ask Luis a question, or you can ask Greg and I a question. Whatever you want to do, put it into the comments, and we will read them out loud. Last week we had so much fun with our guests, so we're looking forward to what Luis has to say to us today. So welcome. Thanks for coming.
Thank you so much. Muchas gracias.
So tell us.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you. So tell us what you do.
I work with Fiserv, which is a fintech company. It's a global company. They are more software than hardware. They are the software that powers Zelle. They also own Clover, which is a point of sale. And what I do is I work in a division that empowers local businesses to be able to increase their revenue and achieve their financial goals by the way I'm able to structure their accounts. Basically, we process payments. I say we're the matrix of financial transactions.
And did you say Fiser?
F-I-S-E-R-V. So
Okay.
I won't give you a vaccine.
I wanted to clarify that. Okay,
Yeah. F-I-S-E-R-V.
Okay.
You don't know, I actually won spelling bee when I was in elementary school.
Oh, good.
Wow.
Me too.
Did you?
Yes.
We have that in common. How about you, Greg?
I came in 7th, I believe. No, I did well. I was a good speller. I was an English major.
That's right.
Hi, Rick. Rick says, welcome back, Greg.
Nice to see you, Rick. Thank you very much. Nice to be back, sir.
Yes, yes.
You said Zelle. What is that?
Zelle, you know when you go to any bank,
Mhm.
you have that way of sending money.
Of course.
Through, exactly.
It's
So,
like a Venmo.
No, I haven't.
Yeah.
I just, what do you do for it? What exactly?
well, we don't do anything, but it's actually part of the technology that Fiserv has developed.
Got it. Okay.
And it's by them. For example, I just came from Puerto Rico the 1st of February, and in Puerto Rico they don't have Zelle. They have something called ATH because it's something created through their bank.
Okay.
So I assumed that it would be everywhere, and I realized, well, it's actually not.
Is that where you're from?
I'm from Puerto Rico,
Right.
but I don't speak like Bad Bunny or sing.
Oh, good. Okay. We'll get that out of the way.
It's just out of the way.
Bad Bunny. Why
Otherwise, we're going to ask you to perform.
Yeah.
No, I'm not a performer.
Bad Bunny sounds familiar. I know I've heard that somewhere recently.
Rafa can update you.
Yeah, that's all right.
Hi, Vicky. Vicky says hello, Luis, and welcome back, Greg.
Thank you, Ricky. Nice to see you.
If you guys have questions for us, please let us know. So he works for a software company.
I work for a fintech company that owns the software that moves money between financial institutions.
So think tank.
No, it's not a think
I
tank.
thought that's what you said.
Financial technology.
Okay.
So
Okay.
what I do is I connect businesses or anybody who receives payment to the bank and back and forth. It's
Okay.
credit card processing, merchant processing, basically payment processing. We also do ATH.
A-T as in Tom, H?
Yes, which is when it's a money transfer. There are
Okay.
different fees for different.
So is that, I used to have that, but mine was ACH.
It could be ACH, that's right. ATH is the one in Puerto Rico that replaces Zelle.
Okay.
That's right. ACH.
Because in my business, a lot of my overseas customers, like I sold a lot to Japan, they would do the wire transfer using the ACH.
Exactly. One of the things that I learned is that obviously our services are 100% deductible from your taxes because it's a business expense. So there's some businesses that think that by taking checks or taking ACH, not ATH, which is the Puerto Rican transfer, they are going to be saving money. But then at the end of the year, they take no deduction for that money, so their taxes will probably be higher. So yes, you don't have the monthly expense, but yes, at the end of the year, you don't have the deduction either. So depending on the volume of your business, using ACH and taking checks can cost you.
Yeah, because it would cost money to send the transfer, and then it would cost the receiver some money to accept it too.
Yeah, well, obviously, it's a business expense, so when you have a business expense, that is tax deductible.
Mm-hmm.
However, the fees for ACH, generally domestically, it's about 1%. So you can deduct 1% of that transaction, while if they pay with a credit card, you
3%,
can,
yeah.
it could be, well, the percentages vary. But we are able to structure your account so that it supports your long-term or short-term financial goals.
Does Zelle do the same thing? Does Zelle
I don't
have
work.
fees?
I don't work for Zelle, so I won't be able to tell you.
But your company does the software for that?
The Zelle is powered by technology developed by
I see.
Fiser. Yes.
Okay. Hi, Todd. On the way to El Segundo. Well, that's nice. El Segundo is going to be beautiful right now. It's a pretty day out today.
That's right. Drive safely.
Drive safely.
Be safe out there.
Be safe out there. If you guys have questions, our guest today is Luis Vega, and he works for a company that has the software technology developed for bank financials.
Yes, so basically, to simplify it, if you own a business, whether you are a doctor, you are a restaurant, you are an attorney, and you receive payments, you know what a point of sale is. We are the technology that powers those points of sales. We own Clover, but we can provide you with any system that meets the needs of your business. We're not married to any of those elements.
Okay.
And do you also do the like merchant services?
Well, merchant service means a transaction, so yes.
Like, I'm sorry, credit card payments?
But obviously, the transaction could be through a credit card, through a debit card, it could be ACH. You know, there are a lot of options that we have. It's tailored to the needs of the client.
Okay, what's the more, I bet credit card's more popular, right?
Well, it depends on the communities. For example, I have he's not a new client, but he's a new business, and he's in an area, he's in Compton, it's a bakery, and he just opened. It's the first location. So we assume that it was going to be regular. So there's a term called surcharge, in which you can transfer the expense of the transaction to your clients, right? So it worked fine, but after 2 months, in other words, 2 cycles, we realized that in that case, in that neighborhood, for him, most of his clients use debit cards. So because it's a debit card, we cannot apply a surcharge to those cards. So then I revisited, I talked to him, I explained that the plan he chose was not going to provide him the incentives that he was looking, so we reconfigured it in a way that, you know, it can be done legally and effectively.
Okay.
A lot of credit card restaurants, I should say, are charging extra if you use a credit card, which is kind of pushing people to pay with cash.
No, exactly. You can pay with cash. It's just, for example, for my birthday, like a few years ago, we went to a restaurant that's closed in Santa Monica, fancy, well-known place, right? So it was my birthday, so it was a birthday gift. So I go, but by now I know, I look at the receipts, right? So I look at the receipt and I go like, what is a 20% CD, or whatever? You had a very official term. So, you know, you have to read your receipt. So I asked the waiter who brought the manager, and he explained, well, this is what we do to pay the insurance of our workers, but it's 20%. And when I Googled the term, it was something that the city of LA did for housing, not for restaurants. And I go, you know, it should be disclosed because you can call it anything and they're not obligated to use those resources to whatever they say. Yes. Right. So the problem is, so I also have a philosophy that I bring to my business, which is I need my client to do well, because as long as my client prospers and is profitable, I have a client and I prosper. Right. Sometimes some businesses, like some agents that do what I do, are only thinking on their own benefit. And eventually you lose customers and you lose clients. Sure. Because if the economy is not doing as we would like it to do, you cannot keep charging people, because then they cannot afford to go out.
Well, I guess what I'm asking is, with more people paying cash, how does that affect your business?
Well, the only effect is obviously we don't make a fee from cash.
Of course.
Yes, and then the business that takes cash, obviously, it's up to them to report all their income to the IRS.
Right.
But, you know, so whatever, that's none of my business.
Sure.
But if you want to lower your taxes at the end of the year, we are the most practical way of doing it. And it's supply and demand. So, you know, if you want to pay a higher fee because you have to do other things, it's sustainable because it's agreeable. When you hire new employees, you have to deal with insurance, workers' compensation. When you buy equipment, it's only a deduction once. We are a monthly deduction that would help a business decrease their expenses in taxes because we are deductible. And as their business changes or their priorities change, we are able to structure that account to suit their needs.
Okay.
Okay.
Anyway, if you have any questions, I don't want to give all my secrets though.
No. Okay, so you work for this company. So basically, you're independent. You work.
Exactly, I'm an
for
independent
yourself.
contractor for that.
So do you have like a territory that you service?
Actually, because the company is global and it's nationwide, I have clients in Florida. I have my first Miami client. Very nice. It's a school. The owner is a Venezuelan, Lorena. Lorena, if you're watching. So I have business all over LA County, but I can have business anywhere. Obviously, it's better to have it where you can go and visit the people and see how they do and help them if you can. But
how do people find you to use your service?
yes, you know, I'm very shy, so I usually this is my first interview.
I see that as a problem.
So yes,
Yeah.
so I have to do
I'm
this.
not buying it.
Well, how can you be successful if it's a secret, right? So you have to come out of your shell.
You can't do sales if you're not.
No.
Exactly.
You
So,
gotta have it.
right?
You gotta have a knack for it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I overcompensate. So I join a lot of chambers,
Okay.
or network with a lot of people, because in any business, first people have to know you, so you need to be visible. So I cannot do that if I stay at home.
Good.
Then second, once you meet someone, Greg, you have to like the person, because you're not going to do business with somebody who's unlikable. Then third, you have to have the knowledge, because you want to deal with people who are competent, right? Then in my case, because I deal with the finances of the business, then you have to be able to trust that person. Once all of those elements are aligned, then you hope that the relationship will flourish, and when you need my services, you will come to me, because I already told you that I want to help your business grow.
You've explained what you do, and now it's time.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it takes an investment of time and money to be able to grow a market. That's why I was so happy that Rafia invited me to Culver City, because I love Culver City, but maybe Culver City doesn't love me yet.
It takes a little while.
It takes a little bit. But don't you find that when you go to these mixing events, networking events, don't you find that like you have to go several times before you actually see any returns, because people have to see you around a few times, and then I remembered I saw that man, before, and then they may come and strike a conversation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, that's what networking is in general.
Yeah, exactly.
The more you go, the more you see the same folks, and you start getting acquainted, and then everybody can point to you if somebody needs your service. And it just
and we at Culver City Biz, if you haven't attended one of our events, a lot of the times we allow for these like 1-minute elevator pitch. And it gives the person an opportunity to fine-tune what they do in 1 minute and get it out to the people that are there. And what that helps people with is, oh my gosh, I remember he said that, so I'm going to go, after this is all over, I'm going to go and talk to that person.
Yeah, you're more likely to remember 1 minute than you are 5 or 6. And so it works.
You mean the interview is going to work against me?
No, not at all. We're talking about our in-person events. So if you haven't attended one of our in-person events, we do try to do different programming, different kinds of things at each event. And so one of the last ones that Luis was at, I think you spoke, right?
Yes, I speak.
Yeah. So
your minute was very memorable.
I mean, I'm listening to 27 of them or something,
Yes.
But anyway, we do these, and it's really nice for people to be able to get out what they're saying. And also, a lot of times people go over the time in the beginning, but then as they practice more and they keep coming, they get better and better at it. And so,
and the more you do it, the more people remember, especially if it's a minute, because they know kind of what you're going to say, and you have new people all the time, and it just repetition really helps a lot.
Yeah, I guess in Spanish we say you have your spiel.
Spiel, yes.
Yes.
Is that English or something? Spiel.
I don't know what it is. It's not quite English. But
it's not quite English. It's not Spanglish either.
No, I don't know where it comes from.
Is it
Next
Yiddish?
time we'll look it up.
Whenever I don't know, I think it's Yiddish.
Yeah, because that's the language nobody
it sounds like Yiddish.
Yeah, just blame it on that, because nobody else can call you out on it.
Don't blame it on that. I
If
like
anybody
Yiddish.
knows, please let us know in the comments.
My spiel.
Spiel.
Your
Where does
spiel.
spiel come from?
So let's see. We have Vicky says the 1-minute speech is very helpful to me. I learn in a nutshell about people who might have something I need, or I might have something they need. Yeah, that's the purpose of it, you know.
Yeah,
Easy to do that. And did you find at that one that you went to in January? Did you find that you learned some stuff about people that, and it made you want to go and connect?
No, yes. Well, when you do your elevator pitch, make sure that the elevator is going up, not down. That's one thing. But yes, every time you go, you meet people with different interests and different business. And I personally like to be able to connect, because my area of expertise or my business is called B2B, business to business. So I'm not actually looking for clients, because I don't do retail. So I need to build a relationship with people who are in business. For example, people who are accountants, and people who do business with other larger businesses are actually an asset to me, because I become a resource to them as well.
Okay.
So it's a process. And I learned that obviously the more you do it, I've been doing this close to 4 years, so the more you know how it's such a collaborative venture, because, you know, we all need to help each other so that the market where we live thrives.
So, since you've only come a couple of times, have you made any connections from our group?
Well, look at this. That's one.
Because we do have several accountants in our group and stuff, or who do financial services.
Yes, well, I met a lot of people. I met a gentleman, and later met his sister, who they do, what is it, like windows and decoration. Fiore has an Italian name. I meet a lot of people in a lot of places.
Sure. And
they just shifted accounts. So this is going to take some time if they were to change again. But I went to another event with the LAX Chamber, and I actually met his sister. And she gave me the card, and I go, as a matter of fact, I did my spiel, I met your brother.
That's funny.
Because I'm very shy.
Yes, I know. We've established that. We're trying to help you through this.
Yeah, you tried to help me overcome it.
How can we do better?
Well, you know, because I visit multiple chambers, I have identified that each chamber has their own psychology and their own, you know, climate. So each one is different. You are very open and informal, and you're, you know, people who are not local residents like me, I live in Silver Lake, you're very welcoming. So that's something specific to you. I understand that I've only been to 2 meetings, I think. So it's a relationship that I had to build with Culver City. That's why I was so happy to accept your invitation and get lost around the house a few times to find it. But, you know, the things you do for love.
Of course. No, the things we do for our businesses, you know.
All right, real quick, the word spiel originates from the German word spielen, which means to play or to perform, or the Yiddish equivalent of something I can't pronounce. It entered English in the late 19th century. All right, we got that.
Well, I'm glad that we have people who are very resourceful. I don't speak German or Yiddish.
No, but I can sleep the rest of the weekend knowing.
But I can say, Ab kaisahe.
What does that mean?
It means, how are you in Hindi?
Oh, okay.
You have to say tike or bohota chahe.
Very good. I understood that.
You know bohota chahe?
Yes.
You know kabikushi kabigam?
No, I don't know. But the other one you said that you're very well.
Yeah, tike is fine. Bohota chahe is very good.
It's very good, yeah.
And kabikushi kabigam, it means sometimes happy, sometimes sad.
I'm still working on English, so I'm gonna.
Hi, Odalis. Hi, Angeles. Okay,
Hello,
let's see what we got here. One couple more. Do you provide services to business out of the country?
Actually, the company, well, the point of sale Clover is entering into Japan. They just signed a partnership with one of the banks in Japan. I think it's Sankei, but don't quote me. And Clover is also already in Mexico. I've been to Mexico, and I just came back from Japan in December. I'm not involved in that aspect of it, but the technology, it's a global technology. It's a matter of different territories have their own systems. And like I have to partner with Culver City, the companies have to partner with people in those countries to be able to function. That's my division. I wish they promoted me, obviously.
Interesting question. Vicky asked, how did you get involved in this business?
Vicky, is that Vicky from the travel agency?
Yes.
Vicky, thank you for the label. I got it. It's blue and black, I think, or white.
Oh, good.
The luggage tag, was it?
Yes,
The
yes,
luggage
yes.
tag.
I won it.
How nice. So Vicky gave away
Yeah,
at the
we gotta talk
January.
about that. I want one.
Yeah.
And I approached her, but you know, she's not open to doing business with me yet. Hopefully after this promo that I've given you, you will.
Anyway, if you don't know, Vicky hosted us along with Gabrielle in January, and she gave away 15 luggage tags that were embroidered and personalized. So he got one. He won one of those.
I want one of those.
And I'm very grateful.
We'll talk, Vicky.
I'm very grateful, Vicky.
Do you travel a lot?
I like to travel now that I'm, like I retired. I spent some time in the military, and I used to travel a lot, so that for work. And that limited how much I could travel personally. But now that I am retired from that part of my career, I enjoy to travel, and I have friends in a lot of places. So I love to visit. I tend to go to places where I know people. So you won't see me in Timbuktu because I don't know anybody in Timbuktu.
Right. So how did you get involved? How did
Yeah,
this
that's
come
Yes.
about?
So I have an insurance license, life and health, which means finance. So with that, I used to go to a lot of events, and I met a very nice lady at one of these events, targeting the Latino community, and she was working for the company. She's working for the company, and she mentioned the possibility because I do speak Spanish, and she was a non-Latina, and through her, I was introduced to this industry about 4 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
And prior to this, what were you doing?
Insurance.
Oh, okay.
So I didn't renew it. I had a P&C, which is property and casualty, and also life and health. And then I saw the clouds coming with the crisis that we have with the insurance companies in the States. And I realized that there are a lot of agents. When you go to a lot of events, there are like 3 or 4 agents, and there's less like me. So, you have to build your niche.
Okay. Hi, Carol. Hi, Anna. Anna says hello. Anna Valdivia.
Valdivia, thank you so much. I did call Guy, your referral.
Oh, nice. Okay.
All right.
Is that how you found us, Culver City Biz Group, through Anna?
No, through Miss Lee.
Oh, Eva Lee. Okay.
Exactly, Eva Lee.
Okay. Yeah, Eva's great. Love her. So.
But I met Anna at the LAX Coastal Chamber of Commerce.
Okay.
Because you guys overlap.
Yeah, or some of the members. Yeah, they belong to us as well as the other chambers.
Hopefully one day you say I belong to you.
You do. You belong to us.
There you go. Thank you, Greg.
That was easy.
You belong to us. You belong to the other chambers.
There's a song, right?
I'm sure there is.
You belong to me?
Yes, there is. Exactly.
There's always a song.
I'm very shy.
So how I think Greg asked, how do people find you? Do you have like a website?
No, I don't have a website, but obviously I have presence in the chambers. I belong to the Bergman Chamber, so you can find me there. And I also have a page in the LAX Coastal Chamber. And actually, it's more detailed and it has more information about what I do. My presentation, because I create my own marketing materials, always reflects the community that I am targeting.
Okay.
As I, venture and I meet people like you guys, I know what are the needs of a certain community, and I pivot to be able to respond to that, because since we're the software, we can take any shape. Like the knowledge of the fact that, you know, using our services will benefit your tax liability at the end of the year came from my networking with banks and people who say, you know, I'd rather use ACH and take checks than do that because, you know, that way I don't have to pay you, you know, I don't have that expense. So I go like, obviously, how do I respond to that? Well, I did the research. Well, we are 100% tax deductible, and these things are not. So you might have more money at the end of the month, but at the end of the year, you're going to pay more because you still have to pay taxes if you report your income.
Okay.
And the former president of Fiser became the president of the IRS now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because a payment, it involves, you know, taking money and giving money back. So not only he has an Italian name, Frank, I don't remember, I never met him. First he became the commissioner of the Social Security, because again, it's like you take deductions and you pay, and then he also now has the responsibility to manage the IRS. So it tells you how reliable our company is when our leader became the leader of the federal aspect of payments and deductions.
Wow. So in your business, how do you get paid? Is it like a commission?
Yes, I make, so one of the reasons why I am so interested in making sure that my clients are profitable is because I make residuals from the transactions. So as the business grows, so does mine. So one of the things that I make sure that it happens, because it's something that I love marketing and networking. So if I have a client that has a bakery, I want to recommend the bakery to everyone. If they have a restaurant, I take my meetings at that restaurant. If you're an attorney, I'm going to, and you need an attorney, if you're an accountant and you need an accountant, of course I'm going to refer them to you. And if I can suggest things that would increase your sales, of course I'm going to tell you, because it's a partnership.
It's a win-win for everybody.
I think so, and that's something that separates me from the other agents whose only business is this. I come from a wider professional experience, so I understand finance, I understand marketing, I understand, you know, engaging with people, so I enjoy talking to my clients, I enjoy learning about their goals, and then I structure the system so that it supports that.
What's the most, I don't know, most craziest business that that you have as a customer?
If you can tell us, yeah, that's kind of.
No, I don't have.
You don't have to tell us their name, but
tell us what happened.
What they do.
No, I don't have crazy clients. No, because I think it's you attract what you like, and I like. At my age, I want to live in a peaceful environment. So if people are too difficult or too strange, I don't need that relationship. You know, sometimes you reach a point where you go, it's not worth the trouble to deal. I'm not a therapist.
I just meant like.
No, I'm not a masochist.
I'm not a masochist. Really unique business. Like what is the most unique business that you know?
Well, unique. What kind of? I mean,
well,
unique.
Something that you get to work with that's different. That's kind of
that's not like every other business.
Yeah, it's just that I basically work with more traditional businesses.
Okay.
The most interesting is the fact that I have a client who began his bakery in his garage, and now he has a location.
Nice.
So that would be the most, but it's a bakery, and I was able, because he invited me, I went to Mexico with him. I didn't know his background. I met him at a consulate event, and then, you know, after he became my client, I learned that he was a Mexican congressman.
Oh.
So I go like, you know, and that's why I met him at the consulate of Mexico. I'm not Mexican, I'm Puerto Rican. But they invited me, and I go, if you invite me, I'll show up if I have time. So I was able to go to Mexico. I went to Mexican Congress with him. I visited his hometown in Acapulco, and I discovered that his family, his parents, they also own bakeries. And I saw the traditional way in which they make it in his hometown, and I also know the traditional way in which they're making it in Compton. It's called Pan Estilo Copala Guerrero. And it's an amazing story of a very hardworking immigrant that has found success following the tradition of his family. I met his father, his sister, the whole family.
So it's here.
It's here, it's in Compton.
Okay.
It's in Atlantic. Again, Pan, P-A-N, Estilo Copala Guerrero. And Copala Guerrero is his hometown in Mexico.
In Mexico, okay. And so he started the business in his home.
He started in his garage.
Wow. Yeah, I was just talking about this. Was I talking about it with you or somebody? That you can start a bakery business in your home and you can sell the goods out of your house.
Yes.
But then I didn't really realize that, but you can have the health
Well, I guess,
inspection and everything.
it became so popular that there were lines, so they told him, you better find a location, yes. But like you, people don't know that you're baking a cake right now. And the smell of baking, the smell of baking is inundating this area.
That's why I came over. Yeah.
That's the thing. For the food, right?
Yeah.
He outed me. I'm baking a cake. But it's actually turned off, but yes, you can smell it right now.
The aroma.
All right. So if you had to tell them at home, these nice folks, to sell yourself, to sell your business, how would you capsulize it? How would you just...
Well, I think that, how long have we been speaking so
I don't know, probably 30 minutes.
Yeah, so, you have seen me for 30 minutes. You have to do business with people because if you are in business, you need to have this type of service. I would love to be able to help your business grow. My concern is that you remain profitable because as long as you're profitable, so will I. So you can do business with anybody, but you can also do business with someone who cares about you, who will listen to your concerns, and I learn from each client. So that's the difference. It's like you ask people, why would you go to Starbucks and pay $6 for coffee when you can get it at McDonald's for $2? Well, the added value and the experience, and I think that's what I bring to the table. And if you have an issue, it's not an 800 number, you call me and I will take care of it.
Very nice.
So that makes a difference.
So you'll be at our next event, I hope, and you'll be able to talk to people.
If I don't have to dance, I will be.
You don't have to dance.
And she knows why I say that, right?
All right. When is our next event?
Why do you not like to dance?
Because I'm shy.
You are not shy.
I overcome.
You need to watch this video later. You should.
I was send me a link.
So when's
He's
our
not
next,
shy.
when is our next event?
Our next event is on March 5th, and I don't have all the details right now, so you'll just have to keep watching my post on my Culver City Biz group, and we will keep you updated on what's happening, okay? But it's on March 5th, which is always the Thursdays when we usually do it, and it's from 4:30 to 6:30, so I did put up an event there. Please RSVP. Even though you don't know the location.
You will know by
but
next
you
event.
will.
It will be Mexico.
It could be. We don't know.
It could be. Or we could go to Puerto Rico.
We can go to Puerto Rico.
There you go.
It's a project.
Yeah,
So,
why not?
do you still have family in Puerto Rico?
Yes, all my family is in Puerto Rico.
And do you visit often?
I just came back, yes, a few days ago. Yes, I visited.
Very nice.
But if I only go back, they travel around the world and I kept going back, so I go, no, let me take a break so I can go places. That's why I went to Japan.
Yeah, nice.
I went to Puerto Rico. That last year I went to Switzerland. Have you been to Switzerland?
No.
Have you been to? Oh, it's amazing. Everybody should go.
Okay. Did you eat a lot of chocolate?
I ate some chocolate, but I told my college roommate, one of my college roommates is Swiss, and I was introduced to fondue in Echo Park, so I go like, I need to eat fondue. And he goes, this is not the season for fondue, but I'll do it for you.
It's seasonal?
Did you know that?
That.
Well, I'm not going to question him, right?
I didn't even know they still had it anywhere. All right.
They have
Oh
a
my
cheese.
goodness.
Anyway.
All right.
Okay, let me see who else.
Vicky, let's plan a tour to Switzerland.
Yeah, she can help you with
She'll
your
get you a
travel
deal.
stuff.
Yeah, she'll get you a good deal there.
Yes.
She can definitely help you. Okay. Well, thank you, Luis, for coming. I wish you had a website or something that we could, tell
I'll
people
send you
to
the
know.
link to my LAX
Okay.
coastal chamber because it's very descriptive,
Okay.
and I don't really have a website because again it's business to business, and I like I'm very selective because I want to devote time to my clients, and there are a lot of other companies that do it
But it's
for
descriptive.
strangers, and I want.
Yeah, we can post that on
Yeah, so I'll send you the link.
Sure.
Yeah.
You send me the link of this interview. Hopefully, we'll get a lot of responses. And if they're coming to your next event that we don't know, is to be determined.
Yeah.
I'll be there. So
Sure.
set up an appointment. Rafael will be my agent, my booking
Yeah.
agent.
She'll take care of it.
Exactly.
Talk to her, and she'll talk to me.
Exactly. So thank you all for watching. Have a great weekend. It's Valentine's Day weekend, so I hope you guys all have lots of love in your heart for everyone, and you receive a lot of love. And we also have President's Day weekend, right?
Yeah,
Because I think Monday's a holiday. So what a great weekend.
Is it Valentine's Day a legal holiday, or is that not? That's not.
Is it a
Banks are-
legal holiday?
Yeah.
You mean legal or illegal?
Legal. The banks are closed.
Don't you have Valentine's Day every day, Greg?
Yeah, well, that's the point.
Yeah, he's Hugh.
Greg
Hugh
has
Hefner.
Valentine's Day every day, okay?
He's Hugh
One
Hefner.
of my favorites. One of my favorites. Yeah, I don't want to talk about it now, though. But all right.
Absolutely. But anyway, have a great one,
Have a
and
good
we'll
weekend.
see you at the next one next week
Yep.
with our next guest. Have fun, guys. See you later.
Well done.
Sayonara.